Hi, my name is Tori and I'm a computer science major. I'll be going over internet and email basics. So first, for the outline, we have browsing the internet safely and effectively, and we'll be going over how to connect to Wi-Fi on an Apple or Microsoft device on different operating systems as well. And 2 is setting up and using email accounts. And we'll be going over how to create an email account for the first time through Gmail and Outlook. So first is how to browse the internet. How to browse the internet can look differently on different devices depending on if it's a Microsoft or Apple. Those are the 2 main brands out there for computers in this generation, and we'll be going over what that looks like on Microsoft's newest operating system, Windows 11, and then Apple's newest operating system, which is Mac 11. So first is Windows 11. When you're looking for Wi-Fi, you're going to be looking at the bottom taskbar, and you'll see the Wi-Fi icon right at the bottom, and you'll click on that, and that's what will open up what Wi-Fi is available to you in your surrounding area. And if you don't know what your Wi-Fi name and password is, you can contact your provider, whether it's Xfinity or whoever, and they could provide you with those details. For Mac 11, differently from Windows, you'll find the Wi-Fi icon at the top instead of the bottom, and you'll click on that very similarly, and then the Wi-Fi will be listed below, and you would just click on that and put in your password, and then you would be connected to the internet, and you would know because there's a little lock right next to it. You can see on this device they're connected to their home Wi-Fi successfully, and so that lock is there. This is Windows 10, so this is the generation below the newest, and the same, you'll go to the bottom taskbar, and you can see here that this computer is connected through a wire instead of Wi-Fi, but if you're on a laptop device, then they'll always have Wi-Fi capabilities. You would click here similarly, whether it's Wi-Fi or if it's this icon here, and that will open up what Wi-Fi is available to you. And then you would click and put in your information similarly to the other. And then this is Mac 10, very similar to Mac 11. At the top is where you'll find the Wi-Fi icon, and that's what you'll click on to be able to see what Wi-Fi is available to you. And similarly, you'll see that little lock once you've successfully connected to the Wi-Fi of your choosing. So now we'll be going over the default browsers for the different operating systems and brands. So Windows, their default browser is Microsoft Edge, and the brand is Microsoft. Mac, you can see that the default browser is Safari, and this is what the icon looks like, and the brand Apple. So this is what the default browser looks like, Microsoft Edge, when you first open it. If you don't have it open currently, you would go to the taskbar, and you can see the little icon, and you would click on there, and it would open up your browser. And you can see that the top search bar is blank, but that's where you would put in your URL or any other links to connect to the internet or Wi-Fi. This is what Mac's default browser looks like, Safari. And similarly, you'll see all of the applications at the bottom, and you'll left click on the Safari icon to open up the browser for the first time. And you can see that the search bar is also blank, and that's where you would be putting in your URLs and links to websites that you want to access through the internet. So next is setting up and using email accounts. So I'll be going over how to create an email account for the first time for 2 different platforms. The platforms that we'll be going over is Gmail and Outlook. Gmail is Google created, Outlook Microsoft. Both platforms can be accessed on the computer and a mobile device if you download their application. So using Gmail on a computer. These are the step-by-step written steps to go over how to create a Gmail for the first time. But in the next few slides, I'll be going over the physical form and what it looks like when you're creating it. So first you would put in your first name and last name, and the last name is optional, and then you would click next, and you would put in your birth date and your gender. Then Google comes up with some emails for you depending on the data that you put in, or you can choose create your own Gmail address, which you would just be putting in your own information, and they would check to see if that email has been used or not, and they would notify you, and you wouldn't be able to create it. But if it hasn't been used, then it will let you go through the steps as normal. So after you choose what your email address would be, you create your password, and I strongly recommend writing this down physically to have somewhere just in case you forget, because it does happen. And then this is what Gmail looks like in the browser after you create your account. At the top over by the Gmail icon, you can see the compose button. That button is what you would click to create a new email for the very first time. After you click compose, this window will pop up on your screen, and it says new message, and you could put the to is to the person you're trying to send the email to, whether it be your friends or your family or so on. CC means you want to send the email to another person, and they would also be notified of when you received notice back. And the subject is just like the first line of what they would see when they first receive the email before they actually open up the full message. And then you would click on the blank box here to type in your message completely, and then you would click send. Next, I'll be going over how to create a Microsoft Outlook account. So very similarly to Google, you will be prompted to either put in an email address that you already have created. You can use a phone number instead, or you can create a new email address similarly to Google. So I'm just going over how to create a new Outlook account. So you'd put in your email of your choosing, and it would prompt you if that email address isn't available yet. And then you would put in your password and your first and last name. Just keep going through the steps. And then birth date. And then this is what Outlook looks like after you create your account. And it looks similar to Google, but with different names of their buttons. You can see at the top by the Outlook button, it says new message. And that's what you'd click to create a new email for the first time. You can see new mail. And then this window will pop up on your screen, and you can see down here, this is also where you can see that window come up when you're trying to send an email. The to button you would send to the person you are trying to send the email to. Subject is just the first line of what the person would see when they receive the email, and then this blank box is where you would actually put your message. And CC is just if you want to send the message to someone else and then be notified of the response. So now if you want to test your skills, what does this logo inside the red circle represent? A, Outlook, B, Gmail, C, Safari, or D, Microsoft Edge? And the answer is Microsoft Edge. So in summary, we went over how to connect to Wi-Fi on different operating systems such as Microsoft and Apple products. We also went over how to create an email account for the first time with Google and with Outlook, and how to actually send the email once you do create that account. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great day.